All right. So thank you everyone for joining in. This is supposed to be a session on handling stress by the way of Makali, and I thank LR Vishwanath sir from the bottom of my heart for agreeing to join all of us here. So this event is also meant to be a precursor to the course on Durga Saptashati, which we are also calling it as Chandi Diksha or Chandi the Invincible, Chandika the Invincible, I'm sorry. So it's also meant to be a precursor. So this is an opportunity for all of you, to clear your doubts on whatever you may have regarding the course. So hopefully Vishwanath sir will oblige to all our questions. But just to give an introduction, Vishwanath sir has been associated with the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in his career for a long time, and other than his work in the government, I know him as a sadhaka of of Ma. Basically, I'll not take the name. So he was very kind. He graced all of us with a session on Kali time in Jyotisha way back in October. So that recording of that session is available on YouTube. So if anyone wants to access that, they can go to my channel Jyotish 108 Vedic Astrology for Everyone, and can access that recording. So other than that, it was very impromptu decision by sir to start this course on Chandika the Invincible, which will also involve taking Chandi Diksha. Before that, we also wanted a session where everyone could join in, and more than that, we also it was also meant to be an opportunity for people interested in the course to to share their doubts or their concerns regarding whatever is supposed to unfold. And the course on Chandika the Invincible, it is meant to be it's meant to be a 27-day course every Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and it will be a completely handheld course where Sir and Madam Srimati Bhanumati Vishwanathji will be hand-holding the sadhakas. Okay, and the basic objective of this course is to create a group or a legion of dedicated sadhakas who are willing to explore this way of the mother, which is which is accessible, of course, which is accessible to everyone, but there is a way to access it. You need to unlock the path to actually access the way. Anyways, over to you, Vishwanath sir, and thank you so much for for your time and for your grace in meeting all of us today. Over to you, sir. You just let me know when I have to share the screen. I will do that.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'll just share the screen. You can start.
Good evening, Devrishiji.
Yes, sir.
And good evening to all the participants who have joined here. Wishing you a very, very happy New Year, Gregorian New Year. And welcome to this interactive session on handling stress, the way of Ma Kali. Having said that, we have been observing stress in almost all walks of life. Earlier also it was there. It is not that stress was not there. Stress is time immemorial, but I think in the recent decade or two, it has taken a center stage and people dread the word stress because it has many side effects and it creates problems which people almost are unable to solve. Let us now try to understand what is stress. Very basically, I think all of you should be knowing because you're all seasoned, experienced people in your own field. This PPT we will do after a while.
So what do you want me to? I'll stop the sharing in that case, sir.
Yeah, that I will explain. Let me just open up the statement and then I will tell you.
Surely.
Let me just now. In physics, when you define stress, it's a kind of a force which is acting as per the laws of nature, but something is produced out of stress. For instance, a rubber ball, when you strike it hard on the ground, it goes high. And the more hard you strike, the more high it rises. Similarly, a rubber band, when you stretch it, it strikes, again comes back. Which means when there is a pressure or force, then stress occurs. This is also not necessary now.
Okay.
Let's just talk for a while and then we'll go to.
Surely, sir, surely.
Which means wherever there is pressure, wherever there is force, there is stress. That could be anywhere, your work area, your family life, you're dealing with children, you're dealing with adults, your friends, social life, party, everywhere. What happens is something which is not conducive to the way we think, something which doesn't fall in tune or in compatibility with what we think. That is where stress begins. Which means wherever there are expectations, the moment you have expectations, you also have disappointment. Because when you expect and it doesn't conform to what you think, because invariably expectations never match with reality. There is a difference, could be of degree, but there will be a difference. Which means there is a mismatch between expectations and realization, and therefore, consequently, there is an imbalance, there is a disequilibrium, and stress occurs. So much so that in today's environment where we are all living, even small issues create stress, because of which one feels not good. The feel-good factor is absent, and one feels that something is wrong. And that stress has got a big trigger effect, because once stress creeps in, it brings anxiety as to what is going to happen next. Something unpalatable has happened, which means things are going to go wrong. Assumption, auto-suggestion. Motivation is totally absent. One gets demotivated. Then there is always an unknown fear. Now, fear is the basic root cause of so many of our problems today. Psychological, psychosomatic, because the moment fear comes, we are caught because we don't know how to react. And fear is also of different kinds. There is a fear of some impending reality. There is a fear of social disapproval. There is a fear of getting entangled in unwanted relationship. There is a fear of emotional outburst, different kinds of fear. And many of the fears, these fears, are imagined because they don't actually come true. So the mind, which all of us accept and agree, I think, that it feeds on unknown fears. It has got a habit to feed on uncertainty, anxiety, and compound or magnify a problem which is almost not there or was very marginally there. Consequently, when one is not able to tackle the fear factor, the stress increases, and over a period of time, there is a vicious circle. Expectation, mismatch in reality, consequent disappointment, stress out of that, fear out of that stress, anxiety of that fear, again stress out of that anxiety. It's a kind of never-ending cycle. It's only a matter of degree or kind when somebody says, I was supposed to go to some foreign country for an important assignment on which my career was highly dependent, but now I cannot go because now you have travel regulations because of the pandemic, And our present day situation in the last 2 years and now, there is so much of information, proliferation, that one doesn't know where to go, because there is a theory floating that Omicron is not that severe. Just today, I think sometime back, there is a news breakout that there are much more serious variants which will come. And of course, these are all health issues and substantive issues. There is no disagreement. But there are prophets of doom who have been projecting that the world will go down. And whenever the world will go down kind of prophecies come, the most handy resort is Nostradamus. Because everybody thinks that whatever Nostradamus said is going to come true, world is going to end, we shall all go, thou shalt return to the dust. Okay, fantastic. Now here comes Mother Kali. Okay, death. So what? After death, what? During death, what? What is death? Does the body die? Does the soul die? Does the mind die? Who dies? The moment you start inquiring by meditating on the goddess of death and beyond, all such fears will vanish, including the fear of death. Because eventually, all fears are pointing out towards fear of death only, nothing else. One loses one's job, assume. One loses one's pay, one loses money, one comes into poverty. I'm talking about the worst case. One is not able to feed a family, one is not able to eat. Then what happens? Ultimately, because of hunger, poverty, you die. You leave the body. Nothing else. Whether it is failure in official records, failure in career, failure in marital relationship, ultimately the greatest dukkha, the tragedy of life, is death. That's within quotes what normally we think. But that is not a tragedy. Death is the only reality which comes with us the moment we are born. And we need not fear it that much, because if we know what it is, if we know the ways to be out of it, not permanently, it will come at the appointed time. But then one should not keep on worrying, oh God, I will die, what happens? Oh God, death is there, what happens? I think there are so many other things one can do. Then, what is the way out? Only a poison can take out another person. An antidote. The antidote for death is going to the lotus feet of the goddess of death itself. Ma Kali, painted differently by different people. Some people say, one devotee said, oh, you are so naked. Even the sky looks very minion in front of you. Rama Prasad said. Or Ramakrishna used to say that, oh Kali, you don't wear any clothes and you are so fearful. One gets so frightened. Why don't you drape a sari and sit like a dulhan so that we are comfortable? Just out of fear, making fun, making a pun, because he was in Vatsalya Bhava. He used to say, I would like to pick up in my arms and mollycoddle you, but thou looks so fearful that I can't do that. I feel like going forward, but after going 2 inches, I retrace myself because I don't know what you have next in store. In one of the poems of Ram Prasad, he says, she's a big trickster. Ma Kali is a big trickster. In a split of a second, she would change everything upside down. And one wouldn't know this. And this is called Mahamaya. What is Mahamaya? Something which we cannot conceive, something which we cannot perceive, something which we cannot define, something which boggles our mind. You call it illusion, you call it delusion, anything. Therefore, approaching that mother, stress, anxiety, depression, fear, everything vanish. Now, what is the approach? Because there are several ways. That is why you have got the Dasha Mahavidyas, 10 wisdom goddess, all springing forth from Kali. Each of the Vidyas having a different purpose. Each of the Vidyas representing different Graha. You people are all associated with Dev Rishiji, so astrology should be there in your fingertips. But I'm still recapitulating because I'm also a student of astrology, still learning. You have Saturn for Kali. You have Jupiter for Tara. You have Mercury for Sodashi or Tripura Sundari. You have Rahu, Chinnamastika. You have Venus for Bhuneshwari. You have Dhumravati for Ketu. You have Bagalamukhi for Mars. You have Matangi for Sun. You have Kamalatmika for Moon. Now, out of Dasha Mahavidyas, 9 Mahavidyas only have got consumed. There is a 10th Mahavidya, but there is no Graha. 9 planets, 9 Mahavidyas over. 10th Mahavidya, no planet. But then the Kala Purusha has wisdom. The Kala Purusha has nominated Bhairavi for the Lagna. Tripura Bhairavi is the Lagna indicator. Anything to do with the Lagna, you take reports to Tripura Bhairavi. Having said that, we have the 2 Kulas, the Shri Kula and the Kali Kula. Kali, Tara, Chinnamastika, Dhumravati, Kali Kula. Rest all Shri Kula, Tripura Sundari, Tripura Bhairavi, Bhuneshwari, Bagalamukhi, Matangi, Kamala. 6. But again, there is no fixed rule. Bagalamukhi, you can invoke the Shri Kulve, your Kali Kulve, the mixed. Similarly, Matangi is called Chandali. She's part of Shri Vidya, but she's also part of Kali Vidya. So there are no definite compartments. The Mahavidyas are all pervading, permeating into each other. Now, out of all this, where does Kali stand? Again, in Kali, you have Dakshina Kali, Bhadra Kali, Smashana Kali, Raksha Kali, Rakta Kali, and so on. There are so many Kalis that we have not even heard. For us, it will be in Latin and Greek. We could have heard about a dozen Kalis, but there are so many. Now, all of us, householders, people in workplace, where will we go after skull, cremation ground, corpse? These are the things which is associated with Kali. Naramunda Mala, blood. But these are all different ways of worshipping. Everybody need not have the same way. As many people in this universe, as many ways. Because everybody should be given an opportunity. And spirituality, which is different from religion. Religion is basically contained in so many beliefs, statements, sometimes dogmas, rituals. Spirituality is transcending matter to reach the higher. You use matter, but you cross matter and reach the spirit. If you have only spirit, it's not safe because you will be a disembodied being. We may worship a disembodied being and finally end up in worshipping a Pishacha. You need consciousness. Now, when you only go towards matter, you may forget all spirit and end up in Panchamakara and go on consuming alcohol and flesh and meat and blood. What we need is a brilliant transformation using matter and then reaching the spirit and then ultimately being one with whatever we define God, Brahman, bliss, etc. For this and to worship Kali, in order to overcome, not stress. Stress is a very small thing, because we thought we should start with something simple so that all of you get, you're all brilliant people, you can get interested and then you can take on. One needs a path. Dasha Mahavidyas are a paths. Each of them is a path. And even in Dasha Mahavidya, there are different ways of worshipping, we just mentioned. But there is one Vidya which is not in this Dasha Mahavidya, but which is the key, which is the opening statement for every Mahavidya in this world. And that is Chandi. Chandi is like the passport, and Mahavidyas are like the visa. If you don't have Chandi, it will be difficult to do any Vidya properly, because in any Vidya you go, you have that Vidya Sahasranama, that Vidya Ashtotra, that Vidya's Kavacha, so many things. Like Chinnamastika Kavach is there, Bagalamukhi Sahasranam is there, Tripura Bhairavi's Ashtotram is there, but one common key or catalyst to transform your concerns and your desires into intended results is the Chandi. The Chandi can be used with any Vidya, also can be used independently. Now, what is so great in this Chandi and why it is given that kind of a status? All the other Mahavidyas have come because of some reason. There are short stories about each of them, how they came, their origin, their Mahatmya. But Chandi is the story of the universal mother, whose Navratras are celebrated in 6 seasons of the year. Ashwina Navratra is one autumn festival. You have got Navratra in him and snow. Then you have Pausha Navratra, Vasanta Navratra, Grishma Navratra, Hemanta Navratra, which means 2 into 6 is 12. Every 2 months there is a Navratra. Sometimes we call it Varahi Navratri. Sometimes we call it Shakambari Navratri. The nomenclatures differ. But each of the Navratras, the presiding deity is Ma Durga, and the way to worship her is handling of the Saptashati. Just to recapitulate, what is this Durga and what is her Saptashati? Durga, the most universal, powerful mother, is manifestation of Mercury, Budha. And she is termed as Shaktiman. She wields the discus, Chakra, which is also there with Mahavishnu, Sudarshana Chakra. And how this Sudarshana Chakra came, there is a Puranic story. Once Mahavishnu wanted to worship Lord Shiva. So he said, I will recite the Shiva Sahasranama and offer 1 blue lotus flower for each Nama. So he got 1000 Neel Kamal, blue lotus. And he was going on reciting 1 Sahasranama Nama each and offering 1 blue lotus flower. Shiva wanted to test Mahavishnu's devotion, dedication. When he reached the final Nama, 1000th Nama, Mahavishnu said, found that there was no flower, no Neel Kamal. He searched, but you can't wait, because when you are saying Nama one after the other, you should have your ingredient immediately. Finding no flower, Mahavishnu, who is even otherwise called Neelalochan, the blue-eyed Vishnu, he plucked his eyes and put it there. Shiva was so pleased by his devotion that he also restored his eyes, and he said, I have come here to give you darshana. That is why Sudarshan. my wonderful darshan. So Lord Mahavishnu said, I am very honored by your darshan and my purpose of worshipping is over. He said, you keep this chakra. This chakra is there for you to administer because you are the paripalaka. Administrators require power, the danda. That is why in Kashi, Banaras, whenever a new DM or a new superintendent of police come, they go to the Kal Bhairav Mandir, who is called the world administrator, bow down to him and then resume their job. That Vishnu Chakra is shared by both Mother Durga and Vishnu because she is Vishnu Maya. Whenever you have Shank and Chakra in any deity's hands, please know that she is a Samhara Karaka. She is here to destroy enemies of the devoted people and she will be always granting protection. Now, after defining the role of Durga, Durgati Nashini. She is the one who destroys all our adversities and she is also our protectress. How to worship her is through the Durga Saptashati. Durga Saptashati means 700 shlokas, you all know. How they have evolved it. The Rishi or the seer as well as the Granthakar for this is Markandeya Rishi. It is from the Markandeya Purana. You have three broad characters of the mother. Prathama Charitra, Madhyama Charitra, Uttama Charitra. Very simple to remember. In the Prathama Charitra, there are two asuras, Madhu and Kaitava, who emerge out of the ears of Mahavishnu and they try to attack Brahma. They try to kill him. And Brahma prays to Mother Kali and they are killed by Mahavishnu. I will go in detail in the PPT after a few minutes. Let me just outline. In the Madhyama Charitra, there is a world famous story of Mahishasur, who needs no introduction. Whenever you talk about a powerful asura, you only remember Mahishasur because he was born to a buffalo and a Rakshasa. His father, Raktasur, used to offer blood and worship. And once when he found a buffalo in mating season, he was drawn towards it, and that's how Mahishasur was born. Now, how a man goes and has relationship with a buffalo, only God can explain, because all kinds of things happen in the world, because only strange things bring in strange results. In the Uttama Charitra, there are a series of asuras led by Shumba and Nishumba, who have Chandamunda as their ambassador, Dhumra Lochan as one of their generals, and Raktabija, the terrible Rakshasa. Now, all these Rakshasa by name have a character. And they resemble our modern day problems that we suffer. You don't require a physical Raktabija to come and you hit him from every drop of blood, another equally powerful Asura comes. What are you having now? The pandemic. First it came as COVID-19, then one variant, one Delta. Now there's, what is this? It's Raktabija only. When in-season trouble take place, germinating one from the other, it is known that it is only Raktabija created. And who can cure this? Only Ma Kali, nothing else. Medicine, vaccination, everything is there. They have to be there because society has to have an order. But if there is any power in the world which can cure from all these pandemics, endemics, disease, death, it's only Ma Kali. I am not demeaning the power of other gods, but it's very interesting. Kali is a university, the rest are all school. Why? You worship any other god, you will go to a temple. You will go to a palanquin hall, or you will go to Raj Darbar. But after going everywhere, ultimately you have to go to the Smashana Bhumi, which is the university. You cannot forget her. You cannot avoid her. You cannot run away from her. Even if you are not a Kali Sadhaka, at the end of the life, once you will go and say, "Oh mother, please accept me." That is the Mahima of Kali. Whether you want, whether you don't want, she will accept you. In Bangladesh, say, "Kole tule na." Pick me in my arms, like a child. So these three characters of the mother are over. In the beginning, there are some formalities, preliminaries. Durga Kavacham. That Kavacham is supposed to protect all of us, both from known dangers and unknown dangers. Argala Stotram, auspicious. Kilaka Stotram, removing of lock of the Stotra. Devi Atharva Sirsha, that talks about the qualities of the mother, description of the mother, character of the mother in relation to the universe. It talks about there are Ekadasha Rudras, Dwadasha Adityas, 12 sons, not just one, and how the mother is related to them. Ratri Suktam, the prayer for the night. These are all the preliminaries. And in the end, after the 13 chapters, 700 shlokas divided into 13 chapters is Durga Saptashati. And then you have Devi Suktam, which talks about various principles. Durga Saptashati or Chandi is not the goddess for Vairagya or salvation. No, sorry. She is meant to achieve your goal and my goal in this very world. Because she is Shuddha, appetite, hunger. She is Trishna, thirst. She is Nindra, sleep. She is Kshama, forgiveness. There are 23 tattvas which are qualified on the mother, where you say, Namastasya, 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 Namo. Which means, if you have to break obstacles and hindrances in the world and achieve your goals, she is Dukkha Hantri, Sukha Prada. She'll break all your obstacles. She'll give you all your desires. That doesn't mean that you ask for some desire which is unachievable. It should be well within your domain. Then it can happen. Now, just to give the essence of what we are discussing, I would like to present a PPT which I have made myself because I thought it will be useful to you people.
So I'll share it now. Yes. I'll share it now.
One by one, slide because
so do we start with the takeaways from Chandi, sir?
Yes. That is the one. No, with the pictures, not this.
Okay.
Do you have it?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do. Just a minute.
Yeah. Why I said takeaways is, at the end of the day, you should have something with you. After doing a Chandi course, you have to be empowered. That is why I put the word takeaways. Now we'll go to the first part. Yeah. This is a story of one very powerful king called Surat. As usual, there was a backstabbing, treachery by his ministers and conspirators. And in order to protect himself, he ran away into a jungle. When he comes there, he meets a rich man, a merchant, who was driven away from his home by his family members after taking all his wealth and all his money. Both of them, out of misery, have been trying to find out what is the reason. Why? Because in our case also, whenever we are in distress, we say, I have not done anything wrong. I have not injured anybody. I don't know why I am facing. Everything cannot be given an answer when you are in cognition. There are so many invisible factors. So they come across one mendicant there, Rishi, Medha Rishi. They ask him why they are in such a bad situation. The Rishi says, these are the ways of Mahamaya, who runs the world and human action. Both Surat and Samadhi, the name of the merchant, asked the Rishi, who is this Mahamaya and what does she do? Medha Rishi says, once when Mahavishnu was reclining and Adi Sesha was holding the umbrella and he was in the Milky Ocean and Brahma was creating sitting on his navel, two terrible demons emerged out of Mahavishnu's ears and they started rushing towards Brahma to kill him. Because Manu is the one who does Deva Kriya and Danu is the one who tries to destroy Manu. The work of demons is to kill or spoil or upset the tapasyas and life of saintly people. In Ramayana, you would have heard when Kumbhakarna used to get up, he needed a lot of things he needed to destroy. He will eat a buffalo, tear off a goat skin, and then kill some other animals and drink. Suddenly, when he's in got up, activity all destructive. So, when they go to kill Brahma, Brahma is watching helplessly. Mahavishnu is not doing anything. He is a world administrator, but he is reclining. Brahma wonders. Then he finds there is Mahavishnu is in yogic sleep. And goddess Yogamaya has held him spellbound. He cannot do any action. So Brahma, in order to save himself, invokes Mother Mahakali. Mother Mahakali is invoked and Brahma does stuti to her and she is very pleased with his stotra. That stuti is called Ratri Sukta because you can worship Kali only in the night. You have no Kali in the day. You may go to a temple and all that, but if you want to worship, you have to do sadhana. It's after sunset and later the better, but not in Brahma Muhurta. Up to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., then stop. Then the Kali says, what do you want? Brahma says, please, you leave Mahavishnu's yogic sleep. You come out of his eyes, come out of his nostrils, come out of his body, come out of his chest. And, motivate him to kill these two asuras who are after my life. So the moment Kali leaves Mahavishnu's angas, Mahavishnu gets furious. There is a battle in the sea between the two asuras and Mahavishnu. And in the text it is said they fought for 5,000 years. Panchavarsha Sahasrana. And then Brahma also tells Mahakali to surround the mind of the two asuras so that they do some mistake because they are very powerful. So the asuras, after fighting for 5,000 years with Mahavishnu, tells them, we are very pleased with your valor. Please ask some boon from us. Imagine who is telling whom. So Mahavishnu says, yes, tathastu, now you both die. And he opens his thighs to a very long, big extent, his powerful thighs, and he puts them on the thighs and kill him because in Samudra, there is no surface even to kill a person. Once the asuras die, Brahma is saved, and the Prathama Charitra of Durga Saptashti is over, which comprises of only chapter 1. I don't think it will be difficult for all of you to remember because I will tell you why it is important to remember. But this is the Prathama Charitra. Devrishiji, now we go to the, you show the visuals so that a visual makes so powerful impact. On the left, you see Mahakali coming out of Mahavishnu's Anga Pratyangras, and here the Asuras and Vishnu together fighting. Now we are coming to the second Charitra, Madhyama Charitra. What happens? There is a terrible Asura called Mahishasura. He is terrorized the three worlds. Devatas run to Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. Then they all together sit and meditate and concentrate. Out of their concentration and the power, there comes a fire which engulfs the sky. From the fire, there emerges a very powerful female deity who is all pervading, very powerful, and she has thousands of hands. But for human cognition, because people cannot see so many hands, she restricts herself to 18 hands. The Himalaya presents her with a lion, and all the gods and devas give her one weapon each. And they exclaim together, "Oh, hail the mother, Mata Tumari Jaya." Then the mother asks Mahishasura to come and fight with her. Initially, Mahishasura sends all his armies and generals, Bindipal, Vashkal, Mahipal, Vidalasya, but they are all reduced to the ashes. Mahishasura himself comes and fights with the mother. Mahishasura had a boon that he can change forms from man to animal to reptile. He tries everything but fails. Ultimately, the mother slays him with his Trishula, and Mahishasura is finished by Mahishasura Mardini. This is the Madhyama Charitra. I think this also all of you can remember, because it is not very difficult. It is very absorbing, very interesting story. Now we come to the Uttama Charitra, the third part. Iska bhi thoda visual dikha dijiye. See that Mahishasura is painted on that corner, and the mother with her lion attacks him and kills him. Now we go to the Uttama Charitra, the final one. Now, the third episode, you have Shumba and Nishumba. Shumba mane in Sanskrit, dullard. Somebody who can't think, who only have physical power. And Nishumba is even lower than the dullard. They were twin brothers. So, nobody was able to tackle them. They had taken boons. Then only an unmarried female could rout them. Devas go to Himalayas. They do Devi Stuti. Mother Parvati that time was going to the Ganges, Ganga, to have a bath. From her body, Ambika Devi came out. Because Devas were addressing her. Now they cannot be made to wait till Parvati comes back, because when gods and goddesses go for a bath, it means something very big. Due to the emergence of Ambika from Parvati's body, the body of Parvati became black and it came to be known as Kali. Bhima Devi, she was in the hills, always protecting the Himalayas. Ambika, she's asking the Devas, why are you praising me? For what? So Devas said, this is the reason we are being tormented by Shumba Nishumba. So the mother takes a gigantic form, bewitching form, mesmerizing form, and makes a big laughter, which is called Attahasa in Sanskrit, terrorizing the three worlds. Then Shumba Nishumba's envoys, Chandamundu, come and they say, look, you are so beautiful, you are so gracious, you are so majestic. Our lords, Shumba and Nishumba, will be befitting match for you. They have everything in the world, wealth, health, prosperity, power, valor, everything. So you please marry them. You will be also very safe and happy. There's a proverb which we are all familiar. Fools rush where angels fear to tread. Without knowing, people are very confident. Alpavidya Bhayankar. They don't know who Ma Durga is, and they are offering her protection. Ma Durga says, look, I can only marry somebody who wins me in battle. We call her Shumba Nushumba, and then we will see. So they say, in the Saptashti text, they use a word called O Dushta Durga. They are calling Ma Durga Dushta. Imagine who is calling whom. They send a general called Dhumra Lochana. He is reduced to ashes by Ma Durga's lion. Mother was not necessary, the lion was enough. Chanda and Munda came. Ma Durga invoked Ma Kali because she is her fierce power. In the Padma Purana, it is said, Lord Shiva says, generally, Aham Brahmasmi. Mujhe kuch zarurat nahi. But whenever there is a need for creativity, creation, I have Parvati with me. Whenever there is a need for order in a chaotic situation, Narayana is a part of me. Whenever there is a need for valor, Durga comes out of me. And whenever there is something dreadful to be put down with an iron hand, Kali emerges from me. So they're all part of the same system. Kali is invoked. She beheads Chanda and Munda. That is why she is called Chamunda Devi and worshipped, because she is famous for that act. Then that great, terrible psychological warfare happens with Raktabija. Initially, the Saptamatrikas don't understand why after every drop of blood falls, there is one equally powerful Asura. Little realizing that unless the source, that is his blood supply, is cut, he cannot be killed. In the Ramayana Yuddha Parva, Yuddha Kand, Rama goes on showering arrows on Ravana, but Ravana doesn't get killed. It is Vibhishana who says, fire, put your arrows on his navel. He has got his Amrita Kalasha there. Similarly, Raktabija has to be licked. His blood has to be licked so that he is fatigued and he dies. So Ma Kali is invoked again. It is not that Ma Kali is waiting to drink yours and mine blood. She is not a bloodthirsty goddess. Yes, she came to humanity to help them to lick the blood of a dangerous demon. Don't you think it's such a great service? Had we not had Kali, Raktabija would never have died. Had we not had Lord Shiva, the Kalakota poison would never have been consumed. And then Shumba and Nishumba remain. Nishumba is killed with all his armies and weapons by the mother. Then Shumba challenges that you come alone, I will see, because don't fight on others' strength. Ma Durga says, there is nobody besides me. All of them are part of me. So she immediately withdraws all the Saptamastakas inside herself. There's a very fierce fight between Ma Durga and Shumba. And finally, she slays him. Now comes a very important chapter. After Shumba's death in the 10th chapter, slaying by Mother Durga, in the 11th chapter of Durga Saptashti, the Devas praise her through Narayani Stotra, in which you have the famous Sarva Mangala Mangalya, Shiva Sarvartha Sadhake, etc. At the end of the Stuti, the mother says, look, I am very pleased by what you people did. Please be assured that whenever you have got Badha, Dukkha, I will keep on coming again and again to protect you. Then she says, what all she will do? Imagine you are traveling by a boat, because those days water transport was very popular. Even now today in Northeast India, a lot of transportation by water, and anywhere in the country or in the world. In economic geography, a major chunk of transportation is through water because heavy goods can be transported. She says when you travel by a boat, or a ship, and if there is a capsizing fear, you remember my story of Devi Mahatmya. What? Which story? The Prathama Charitra of Madhu Kaitava slayed by Mahavishnu through the intervention of Mahakali. The Madhyama Charitra of Mahishasur slayed by Mahishasura Mardani. And the Uttama Charitra of Shumba and Nishumba slayed by me along with all my Matrikas. This story, the way I presented to you now, in this order, if somebody can just remember it once in a day, just remember it. I would have stood by that person and saved he or she in what all? One is when you are drowning. Number two, you are going through a forest, there is a forest fire. Now, this forest fire is just an example. It could be fire anywhere. You are going in a lift, suddenly there is a fire in the lift. Remember this story. And to remember this story, it doesn't take more than 3 to 4 minutes. You don't have to go to details. Then you are in an unknown country and you are arrested by the local authorities with a mistaken identity. Or for no fault of yours, you are being punished by the king or the administration or by the state. There is a lot of fight in your family, within your friends. I'll bring Maitri, friendship. There are other things like Mahamari. If it comes, I am there. If you have no money, if you are in Daridra, I will remove that fear of poverty. I will give you immortality from death. Wherever my Devi Mahatmya is recited, I never forsake that place. And in several avatars, I will emerge in this world. Then one of the examples she gives is Nanda Gopa Grahesh Jata Yashoda Garbha Sambhava. In Nanda Gopa's house, imagine before Krishna was born, or at the moment when Krishna is born, what dangerous situation. The Asura is waiting to kill Kamsa. The Mahamaya put everybody to sleep in a spell. The Paradar and this and that. And Vasudev took the baby in a small jhudi, tokri, basket, crossed the surging Yamuna. Nothing stopped him. Left Nanda Gopal at Gokul. Picked up that Yogamaya from there, who was begot by Yashoda, brought here. And when Kamsa flung the child up, you all know what was Akashvani. It is that Yogamaya that we were talking about. So, after the mother gave all the ways how to worship her, what are the boons she is going to give? Solid takeaways. Both Surat and Samadhi. We are going to the original story. After the linking stories. Surat and Samadhi. They say we'll also worship. Because we also want to get the blessings of this Devi. With whatever means and resources they have, they do it. And there in Durga Saptashati, it is written that in 1 year's time the mother appeared. It is not in like many other texts, they say you go on worshipping endlessly. फिर पता नहीं बुढ़े हो जाएंगे, हाथ पर चलेगा भी नहीं, क्या वर्शिप करें? फूल उठाएंगे तो हाथ नहीं जाएगा, भगवान के ऊपर डालेंगे तो जमीन पे गिरेगा. No. 1 year of solid worship, she appeared, gave the kingdom, restored it to Surat, and gave salvation to Samadhi because he had nothing else to do. There ends the story of Durga Saptashati. That is the story. And very interestingly, the benefits that the mother will give, she herself has proclaimed in her own Mahatmya in chapter 11. But you cannot find anything more authentic than this, more powerful than this. So, my discussion with Devrishi ji on this topic was, you should get this takeaway right away. Even if you don't do the course, I have no agenda, it doesn't matter. If you have this PowerPoint presentation, if you can, mug up, because this has to be mugged up. This is not a funda. This is a story. You can mug up, there are only 43 sentences. And you're all bright people, intelligent people. 43 sentences is not a big deal. Initially, you don't have to even by heart. You can keep that paper in your phone or in your laptop. Morning, you get up, you do all your. There are no rituals that you have to be empty stomach, bare bodied, bhasmi covered, kuch nahi. Wherever you are traveling by your vehicle, somebody is driving you. Only thing is you should not drive. And if you drive and do that, you'll be in trouble. You just take out that paper or you put it in your phone and just read out the sequence. You see what happens. The mother immediately gives results. Number one, you have to have that unflinching faith. Yes, this is laid down in Durga Saptashati. Ma Durga has herself proclaimed from her own lotus mouth, if I repeat it, I will get benefit. I shall. Then you will get it. And if you are interested to go into details,
Sir, I think you have muted yourself. Sir, I think you have muted yourself. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, sir. You have muted yourself. Just put it unmute. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Since when you could not hear me? What all you missed?
No, only the thing that, after the commitment of the mother to appear for her devotees, when the Saptashati is remembered, that is from that part.
That is the end of the story.
Right.
Now, what I said was,
yes, regarding the takeaway, sir, you said that, if we do, even if people don't join the course, but they take the, have this PDF with them,
yes,
so that they can at least remember the story, then the grace of the mother will always be upon them.
My point was, I was not selling a product, nor were you. We have human welfare in mind, genuinely. So right at the beginning, I remember one small anecdote. When Gautama the Buddha was going from place to place on Bhikshu, in one place he was given a golden bowl by a king. Golden bowl. Immediately one beggar who was a thief, he started following Buddha because he said, the night when Buddha will sleep, I will steal this vessel. Because what will this sannyasi do with this vessel? So Buddha sat in his cottage and he saw that beggar standing outside because he was waiting for the night. So Buddha threw that golden bowl outside. So the beggar got startled. He said, what is this? He said, why wait till the night? You want the vessel, I give it. Take it. The beggar became his disciple. I am not comparing you to the beggar, but what I am saying, whatever I have in my mind, in my heart, the takeaways, I have shared with you. And this is the world's property. This is not anybody X or Y. But to succinctly present it in such a way that each of you can do it workably wherever you are with the minimum time and maximum efficiency. I have made it like a management program. You can use it, see it for yourself, and then if you want to take the course, that also is available. Because there what happens is one goes into a bit of details and one gets new lights, new kicks, spiritual kicks, and one feels happy and jubilant. I leave the floor at that. I would welcome you, any questions, doubts, and Devrishiji, whatever you want.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. So the main takeaway from this session would be the PDF that you have shared. So I'll put it on YouTube as well when the video is uploaded. And then people who are part of this astrology group, I'll share with them as well. So this is all, Vishwanath sir has been very magnanimous in a way to, to share the takeaway from the course that is supposed to happen for 27 weeks every Saturday. The other thing that, Vishwanath sir had told me today afternoon was that, financial constraints should not limit us in, helping people explore that spiritual path. So what we have decided is, if you have a problem with the amount that is being charged, you can pay it in 2 to 3 installments. Okay. And that is a part of it. And if anyone has a severe problem, then you can always personally reach out to me. Then we can discuss about what can be done. Okay, so this is not about, this is not about charging entirely for personal benefits. It's about, Vishy sir has a desire to utilize that money in a Kali temple, and that that is the only reason why this course was designed. And I can personally vouch for for Vishwanath ji and his support, because as I said in the very beginning, we want a group of dedicated sadhakas. Okay, and if you are taking that option of paying in 3 installments or maybe 2 installments, then what happens is that we will also require a commitment from your end that you will not leave the course in between, because Chandi is a very live deity. She is someone who is very alive, and if someone leaves the course in between or does not attend the classes, because it's only a Saturday, right, we do a lot of unwanted things every week, and then if you cannot if you cannot reserve only 2 hours for our own development, then the mother will not only get back at you, but it will also be detrimental to Vishwanath sir's health, because he's the one who has been propagating this. Okay, so that is my ardent request. If you are taking that option of of paying in installments or going through a financial problem, and then you're reaching out to me for a for a agreeable amount, then you'd not be able to leave the course in between. And we are not asking anything much. It's only a commitment of 27 weeks, that too just 1 day a week. So I think that would be feasible for everyone. And if anyone has any question, you are I welcome your questions. Basically, Vishwanath sir is here. We have taken almost 1 hour 8 minutes of sir's precious time. So any questions regarding the course or regarding anything, we can please you can please ask at this point of time. And just to add something more to the information that I'm providing, this course, as I said, it will be entirely in a handheld format. That means sir will hold each of our hands from the very beginning till the very end. Okay, so it also becomes our responsibility to ensure that at least we give our 100% to this. Okay, and sir had something to share about the English part and the Sanskrit part as well. So if you could please share that with the audience.
I got a divine inspiration yesterday night during my meditation. It is something like when Goswami Tulsidas was writing the Ramayana, the beginning. He wrote the Dhyana Shloka, and Dhyana Shloka was all in Sanskrit, changed Sanskrit, and he had written the Guru Vandana and he had gone to sleep. In the dream, Shiva and Parvati came and told him that we already have a very eloquent Sanskrit work by Valmiki ji on Ramayana. What we want is it should reach the common people. So please write your Ramcharitmanas in a language that people can appreciate and they can recite. That's how this Avadi Bhasha or Khadipoli had come. The Divine Mother implored me that when you are going to teach this course on Saptashati Madhyama Charitra to start with, don't emphasize on Sanskrit, because Mother is not language specific. There is no such rule that you can only pray in X language, and if you pray in Y language, you will not listen. The mother doesn't need any language at all. So the inspiration she gave me was, the beginning, you teach them in English. Because they are now going to learn a spiritual discipline, which itself is a big challenge to them. Then you have a language problem of Sanskrit, where it will be communication and other issues. Therefore, impart the training in English, because English is understood by many of the major portion. After that, you can always give them those things which are to be given in Sanskrit. So I told Devrishiji that this PPT that I have made, there are verses in this. Today I have sent him one verses, 43 sentences. Devrishiji, you can share that verses also, because if you are able to by heart those verses which I told you, 43, then after a period of time it will become natural, because any language, you have all done poems in English, elocution, recitation. I am calling this meditation through recitation. meditation through recitation. So eventually what I intend doing is, I'll be writing down Ratri Suktam in English verses, authentically, from the text. I'll be writing Canto 2, Canto 3, Canto 4, all the course material, so that you are fully ingrained in that. And then Sanskrit, if you build, it is only a USP. Am I clear, Devrishi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just sharing the document, just finding it and sharing the documents in a bit.
If you have any questions, please go on. Don't hesitate. You can ask me any question. I'm always willing to answer.
Okay, there seems to be a question here. Okay, there's a question from Anurag. Will there be any prohibition in the consumption of non-vegetarian food during the course? Because it's a long course of 27 weeks. It will run for 27 weeks. So suppose shadi aa jayega or something else will happen.
I am coming to that. Number one, please be assured that it's a no holds barred discipline, which means you live the way you are living now, and that has nothing to do with your Saptashati training. Why? Because the goddess looks at your devotion. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are.
The goddess is not looking after what food you are eating, what clothes you are wearing, what scent you are using, what perfume you are using, whether you have the devotion to remember her story. See the takeaways which I gave you now. I told you you can read them, recite them wherever you are, in whichever situation you are. In a hospital, in a vehicle, in a graveyard. You feel very dejected because of the death of a near and dear one. You went to the graveyard. You remember that story? Because mind is always there. You cannot arrest the mind. All thoughts are coming in your mind. Why not the thought of the goddess? So, your food habits, even if there are people who take some alcohol every evening for health reasons. There are people who are into social life. This course has nothing to do with that. We are not giving moral lectures. We are not making you any kind of servant or volunteer, not at all. That is not the purpose. When you do the course and when you do this process, you may yourself be inspired to do so many changes in your lifestyle. That is a personal life. We have nothing to do with it. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, there is another concern that will you get recordings after live sessions? Yes, you will. All the will be available. Okay, so
recordings are available even now.
Right.
It's a free for all because knowledge cannot be hushed up.
Right, sir. So this is the document, the Chandi verses, 43 verses that you.
Yes. This is what they have to, by heart and recite every day, even after they do the course. Because this is their lifelong jacket. It's a life jacket. This I have shared with all of them out of goodwill and out of concern for people.
Right. So from when did the course will start? It's not a courses beacon. It's a course. It'll start from the 8th of January. Okay. So I've told you in the morning also it'll start in the 8th of January. I've shared the brochure also yesterday. So hopefully, as I said, we will, we don't want people who leave in between. We want a group of dedicated sadhakas so that at least, the concern of Sanatan Dharma is fulfilled, because we are looking for the welfare of the world. We are not looking at our personal benefit and things like that. So it would be better also that you also look at the welfare of yourselves and then join this course with an open mind, basically.
There is something which I want to add. Can I?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
See, this Saturday 2 hours, you look at it as a rejuvenating session. Nowadays, people go to sulfur sauna bath or massage parlor. That's all for the body. But
Right.
the biggest mastan is the mind. The mind is equal to 1,000 dara things. It has to be massaged. Mind, ego, all those things. So when 2 hours you spend, let me tell you another thing. You are not going to find monotony or drudgery. When we do this 2 hour course, there's going to be a lot of stories. And storytelling is something, story hearing is something which people enjoy. And you will not know that 2 hours have gone. Now you have spent, I think, 1.25 hours.
Yeah, right.
I don't think you have even realized that you have spent. So my experience live in the US is our discourse used to start at 6 o'clock. And by the time 3 a.m. in the morning, people used to ask question and answer, and they would also lie down in the drawing room and sleep. I was the only one awake. Because spiritual food is such a big thing that when your appetite is kindled, your body says, fine, I can sleep on the floor, I can sleep on the sofa, I can go with soiled clothes to my office next morning, but this is something which I want. So you will not even know 2 hours gone, and then I don't know what is Dev Rishiji's fortitude. He has chosen 27 Saturdays. I am telling you the significance behind this, astrological and spiritual. Saturday is a special day in the week. There is no day equal to Saturday because the Lord Saturn is the Lord of the Grahas. He is called Graharaj Shanidev. If the Saturn is pleased, you can get anything done in this world. And if the Saturn is displeased, nothing can happen. And he is the Lord to usher in Ma Kali. He is a planet for Ma Kali. So Saturday, 8 o'clock is Shani Hora, 8 to 10. And 27 Saturdays, you have 27 nakshatras. So that number is also very important. So Saturdays, evening, 2 hours, 27 Saturdays, it will fly. It will just go like a fly. We will not even realize. Carry on, Devrishi.
Yes, there is another question. So this questioner asks, I have strong desire to interact with the mother. I know that a course cannot be sufficient to reach the mother, but do you think we will be close to the mother? Of course, I'll answer that in my personal capacity, and then I'll direct it to Vishwanath sir.
Yeah. Please, you
Thing is
answer
that you
that.
actually first have to make a start. Okay, whoever is asking this question, you first have to make a start, because if you do not know where to start, then you'll be all at sea. Take this course as a pole star, which will give you direction. Because if you are all at sea and if you don't see the pole star, then every direction is correct, and at the same time every direction is wrong, right? So at least you have to make a start. So let this course be the starting point. And the one who has asked me this question, I know his chart personally. So he has an 8th house Venus, basically. So 8th house Venus, of course, it's very good for spirituality, right? It will definitely take you closer to the mother. And how the mother responds is up to you, because the point is that this course is absolutely safe. You'll have heard a lot of stories going on in the internet that I had terrible experiences while doing Mahavidyas. Why those instances occurred is because they were doing it without any direction, without any supervision. Okay, so Vishwanath ji has been a Devi Sadhak, I think, forever, basically, because you don't get these things in a single life. It has to be because just like life is a continuum, so sadhana is also a continuum. You cannot become a sadhak in a single life. And yes, this is a starting point. And if Vishwanath sir wants to add anything more to this answer to this question.
I will take from what Devrishi ji said that we are all sadhakas in some janmas. Otherwise, all of us will not get together here to discuss how to do sadhana. Now, the person who has asked this question about the mother, I will just tell you an anecdote. From there, you'll get the answer. There were two sadhus. One sadhu was in a mangrove doing sadhana, and another sadhu used to wander there. The mangrove sadhu did a lot of penance. Nothing happened. 12 years went by. One day there was a doubt in his mind. He says, maybe this mangrove is so thick, even sun's rays don't come inside. There should be some block here. So that idea went on germinating, and in 2-3 days, he left the mangrove and went in. The other wandering sadhu thought, Said that person has gone, it is empty, I can go and stay there. So the other wandering sadhu went inside the mangrove hut. Within 24 hours, he realized Brahman. Because the sadhana done by the previous sadhu had got so much of accumulation there. It was ready for somebody to open it. And this man went like an open vessel. He got it. Similarly, whoever is asking this question, who knows even before the course starts or the day the course starts, you could become a self-realized soul. We don't know. We cannot judge you by your biodata in the world. You may be CEO of a company or this or that, but in sadhana, maybe you have done so much of sadhana in your previous birth, you may or just need a matchbox. And Devrishi ji brings a matchbox and I light it and suddenly you realize. You can tell us what is God rather than we telling. So there are immense possibilities. You don't know where our possibilities are hiding. It only takes a bit of a time for you to start the process. How you will get evolved, the mother will show you the way. Devrishi ji.
Right. If there are any more questions, basically, I would be happy to take them. Okay, so I don't think we have any more question coming in. Anyway, sir, thank you so much for doing this session. So now we will be a regular feature, and I hope everyone who has attended the session would be inspired enough to take up the course. I've personally told a few people regarding the payment plans and everything. And the others who are there, if you have any question, you can kindly contact me personally regarding this. So we'll meet sir on the 8th of January, and it'll be a journey of it'll be a journey. It'll be a long association, hopefully, because once we start taking the course and once we get the diksha, sir will be our I'll be our guru, and of course it's a very special privilege to get a guru, because maybe you have been wandering for many years or many lifetimes in search of one, and sir has been really gracious enough to to at least let that grace flow from his end. So we're very thankful. And even if you, for those who are related or who have some information on sadhana, you've seen people on Facebook and Twitter and places like that. They will speak of experiences, all the big experiences they have, but at the end of the day, when you ask them anything, they will not give you anything. Okay, so sir has been very gracious enough. He not only has the experience, he is also willing enough to give the part of his energy to us, because it's that diksha is just like taking a flame from his from his fire pit and igniting it within ourselves. So thank you so much, sir, and thank you everyone for joining in. The the link to this session will be available on YouTube. Okay, and thank you everyone. Thank you for taking out your time for joining in this discussion. I'll be ending the meeting for everyone. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Devrishi. All the best to all of you participants.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.